Hey, welcome in, folks. v-LHda here. Always sinking in this chair right before stream. Okay, let's see. Hope you had a good day. Mine was pretty productive. I spent, I guess, a good chunk of the day troubleshooting final, like, weirdnesses in this data mining project that I've been working on for the last couple months. And so we just the team lead on that got back to me and said there's something weird when it loads up in Excel and Tableau. You look into it, and so I figured out what was going on. I figured out a solution. I tested it, and it is working. And they have it working on their side. So I think it is a suitable solution, and don't have to do anything else with that. So that's good. And now it's basically just documentation for that project. Yep. Yeah, the funny thing is it's because they're tracking, so it's like mining social media posts and analyzing, the spread of certain types of information. And so they do this big query searching for things that match a particular set of constraints. And sometimes there are things that they're looking at the intersection between these two different things where like main topic is this, does it also cover the secondary topic? And sometimes, a lot of times it doesn't, right? But we also have to handle, like, sometimes there's a false positive and initially it looks like it matches but it actually doesn't match. And so in those cases, even if there is like a transcript of the video, we actually don't need the full transcript of the video. We don't even need the transcript because if there's no matches, then it's not important. But it is probably useful to retain a little bit of that transcript just so we can know what were sort of the characteristics of it. Was it a French transcript, So all the words were in French, and that's why it didn't match. Or was it because there was it's just a false positive, and the topic is something completely unrelated, and you can tell within the first 250 characters what's going on. Anyway, so we chose to do it that way, and that solved indirectly a different problem. So it was good. Okay, so I think we want to get out of here. Okay, we're at 31. We have all our stuff. We've already been out to the mining town, right? We went to the mining camp, so we're done with that. I think it's time to get out of here. So I think we're gonna go. Oh, and so the other bit of good news was I got word that 2 of my poems got accepted for publication. So I got 2 more poems forthcoming. And they're from the Letters to the Unknown Wife series. So I have 2 more of those poems, and I know there's some of our watchers are fans of that particular series. So you'll get 2 new ones, or new to you ones, in the next few weeks. Not certain when publication's happening, probably within the next month. So, but soon I'll be able to share a link and be able to read those poems as part of our cycle. Okay, you're going out. Do we settle for Angler's Den, or do we go all the way to now, I guess our problem remains that we don't really have a sleeping bag. No bedroll yet. So it does limit sort of where we can stay. Anything over here we want? So yeah, so I sent 3 poems out, 3 or 4 poems out, and they took 2, so that's good. I will need to, I think my goal next week is to send out the short story I wrote, get that one under consideration somewhere. And then, you know, I did this poetry potluck thing on Saturday. And as part of that, I read one of my other unpublished poems, a poem that is about Sherlock Holmes. And I feel like it's finally reached a point where it's maybe done. Anyways, people liked it, so maybe I should trust that and go ahead and go with that. So I'll have to look and see if there's a few more poems I can stick in a packet with the Sherlock Holmes poem. No, it's about so it's inspired by like a comment that Holmes makes in one of the stories where talks about how basically he says like all of London is like a gigantic clockwork machine, and his logical mind allows him to kind of fly up and observe all the intricate interactions of all the moving pieces, you know. So he has this, it's almost like a drone's view of the city that he gives in this moment. It's like flying out the window and across the city, and it's really kind of magical and weird what he does in that moment. And so anyways, I write about poem about that, about levitation. You know, it's also about levitation, it's also about Zen Buddhism, and all in there. And this notion of like the only way you can rise is if you empty yourself of everything, which is kind of what Holmes always does with his mind. He's always emptying the chambers of his mind of things that he thinks will not be useful in the solving of crimes. So I kind of run with that as well. But then it kind of goes in a weird circle. You know, even as, you know, Holmes is saying how, you know, speculating how this makes him seem less than, you know, less emotional, less human. You know, it arrives at something unexpected at the end. So anyways, I think it's a little bit longer, but I think now it's finally a poem that I'd be happy to send out. But yeah, I didn't make the cut for the book. It would have fit well with, in some respects, it would have fit well with the Babbage's Dream book. So you can think of it as sort of like an addendum to Babbage's Dream, another piece of the puzzle. Can't do anything. Okay, so our problem is, do we have food? I don't think our cooking is high enough to cook. We could gather cattails. And I think we don't... Yeah, I think we should dump our stuff, gather cattails, and then head out. Ah, wasted a match. So yeah, I think this weekend I'm going to go over my other unpublished stuff and unfinished stuff and incomplete stuff and maybe some really old stuff that I could probably rewrite in a better way. See if I can piece together enough or be inspired to write something new. We're having too many wolves. We're not hearing a lot of wolves right now. Why is that? We were just saying we haven't heard wolves for a while. Where'd he go? Disappeared on us. Oh. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Oh, wait. Wasn't certain he was going to run. We know from looking at the settings that wolves have no fear of us, so I am a little worried about that. Anybody? We did get the go away. Whoa, we've got fish. Fishies. Ooh. We'll take that. Lots of fishies. Okay, what do we got here? Surely we got a book or something.
Come on, little fire.
Okay.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
That's right, we've got all this other stuff to drop here. Could stay here for a few days now that we have this much food. Okay, currently at 9. 10. 11. 12. Okay. Okay, this is almost cured.
I'm so tired I could lay down right here. I could eat anything. Oh, I'm starving.
Okay, 76, 79, 76s. What can we do with this?
Where can I find something to eat?
Yeah, we need to raise our cooking skill a little higher.
Come on. That didn't work.
Poor Astrid. Try that again.
Come on, little fire.
Today was kind of an interesting day. I woke up
That didn't work.
early, did my exercise, got dressed. For some reason, I thought it was going to be a cooler day, a little bit overcast. No, later in the afternoon when I got ready to go for my walk, I was like, looked at the temperature. It's like, what? It's hotter than it's been like the hottest day we've had for a while. It's like, So I ditched the kind of heavier shirt I was wearing into something a little bit more lightweight. And then went to shorts for my walk. Kept on thinking it was going to be fall. It's still like summer. Last week is summer.
Wait, that didn't
Oh,
work.
come on, Astrid, you can do this. Yes, we're just going to cheat a little bit, just a tiny little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's okay. Nothing else. Almost time to go to bed again. Let's go outside. Look for more cattails. So we got the hard part done, right? We managed to get 2 guts cured, even though we don't have any weapons. And there's no deer, there's no other animals in the world other than the wolves, so... Now all we have to do is find a hacksaw. I'm not 100% decided yet, but I think I'm taking tomorrow night's Wednesday night. I think I am not streaming Wednesday night. So I can finish working on my cover letter. because I think that takes priority. And then Thursday night I'm running D&D, so I won't be on. Friday night I may be late, but I think I might be able to do a stream Friday night, maybe after 9 o'clock. Saturday night, I probably won't be able to do a stream. I have some other, got invited out to a dinner thing, so I will do the dinner thing. I will be social. Give up on us? I think he gave up on us. Keep missing. New tabletop story starts up on Thursday. Is this for Trooper? Different community. Okay, let's see how much we got here. Troopers Friday now has something called Microscope, and to build a world on the fly, then live in it. I kind of like that idea. That's pretty cool. I have a side project right now, developing, I think it's going to be a card game, but it might also be a computer game. I think I told you about it. Fantasy bookseller. Anyways, coming up with a system for that. The next step, once I've developed enough of the cards and the mechanics, is then to do a play test of it. I think I can probably recruit some of the people in my Thursday night gaming group to do a playtest once it's ready. And then when it's been through playtest a couple times and get some feedback, then I'll decide how much I want to sink into this. You know, do I bring on a designer? Do I kind of do the work myself? Fire starting, we still need a lot more fires. Yeah, I'm gonna pause briefly to say hi to my roommate. Just got back. Let's see, back in a sec. Alright, back. Second time he's played it, both worlds kind of crappy dystopias. Steampunk, no magic, travel mainland by ocean. Interesting. So how long are his streams when he does this? Because I imagine the world building and then coming up with something to do within the world all takes time. Okay, got enough emergency food here. A few hours, yeah, I imagine. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see. I'm going to talk to a couple people this week and see if I can get a
Come on, little fire.
little bit of feedback on my revised CV. I took my massive 21-page CV and cut it down to 6 pages. Mainly because the type of position I'm applying for, I really don't see them wanting to read more than 3 to 5, maybe 6 pages. They don't want to read like a 10, 15, or 20 page document for each applicant. Because they'll probably get a lot because it's more of an entry level position. So because of that, I figured, okay, well, I got to strip this down to exactly what they're looking for. And a lot of other stuff will get pushed out to supplemental documents that they can always look up on my website, but they don't need to have right away. Oh, but now I'm second guessing myself, so I think I'm going to get some feedback on that, see if it's making sense or if I need to cut more. And I also have to figure out some time this week or next week to take my car in for vehicle inspection so I can get it switching all my paperwork over to BC, so I have to switch the vehicle registration as well. Which I'm hoping goes smoothly. I got a couple small chips in the windshield, which I think are out of the area that would make them require me to replace the windshield. Replacing the windshield would be not fun. That would definitely hurt financially. I mean, I could cover it. It's just not something I'm planning on doing. I repaired the chips earlier in the summer with epoxy, so the epoxy solution, you get these chip seal things. Anyways, did that. Well, it doesn't make them invisible, but it does at least stabilize them. Well, that one's only 434. $12.36. 95, 93, 96. These are almost all done.
I'd eat anything right about now.
How are we doing match-wise? We are 21 matches. Uh-oh.
I could eat anything right now.
99, 96, 99.
My stomach feels like an empty pit.
Snare is useless if there's no rabbits. Kind of gusty.
Come on, Loper.
Oops, left the big pot back inside. Oh well, that's fine. Okay. Got everything now. One more night here.
I'm not sure I can carry much more. Why didn't that work?
Oh. I'm looking forward to Thursday night's D&D game. It's our third session in this new campaign, and one of our players is going to finally join us after 2 weeks away. So he's arriving 2 weeks into the campaign. But it's fine. It actually is built up in a way that it will make sense if he arrives a little bit late. He just happens to be unplanned completely. His backstory and some of the current intrigue that led up to their current situation overlap really, really well in a way that could actually be dangerous for him. So that's funny to me. But I mean, the player is aware of this. The character is not aware. Okay, yeah, I was going to try to look up something, but not ready yet. Okay. So I don't know yet if the party's going to go explore some mysterious caves in the side of the coastal cliffs, if they're going to deal with some strange, gigantic crabs that they have encountered. If they're going to keep looting whenever they can scavenge on the beach, or if they're going to try to go further inland and make their way to some sort of road and settlement. So lucky me, I get to prepare for everything.
I never thought I'd be dying from starvation.
Okay. We got everything we could hope for. It's time to go. How much cloth do we have? 11 pieces of cloth. Okay, so what we can do here is, worst case scenario, I'm going to make snow shelters. But we're going to try to go for Summit. I think we originally were. I was thinking originally we'd go to Pleasant Valley, but I think we'll go for Summit. The gamble. Yeah, we'll do Summit. But usually I need to sleep somewhere on the way up. We're starting so late. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we will go Pleasant Valley. It's tempting to do Summit. But no bedroll is a problem. Okay, we'll go safe. I hate going safe, but we'll go safe. I guess we can do food. Is that Far Cry 5? Yeah, we're going well. We're doing a weird little challenge called Too Many Wolves. We died horribly. As one does, right? As one does. Here, I should give you a follow as well. No, I already am following. Okay. "30 days in Pleasant Valley." Pleasant Valley is not a pleasant place to be if you're not well equipped.
It's so cold.
And the weather changes so quickly. So, no bedroll. No, we're going without bedroll again. I probably should update our thing though. We're on day 10 now. Day 10, and we live in a world in which there are no animals other than wolves and timber wolves, and they're both set at very high. So lots and lots of wolves, nothing else to eat, except for occasionally a deer carcass if you're lucky. Oh, you're doing 50 days. Yeah, the cake stand thing is insane. I have not successfully done cake stand. Oh, I always skip that. Oh yeah, longlers. This one has no cougar. This one's just wolves. Lots and lots of whiny, annoying wolves. So we spawned here in Ash Canyon, somehow survived the start, and we've been up to the mine. We've gotten our backpack and our crampons. And now we have made the decision that since we don't have hacksaw or bedroll, we are not going to risk it, and we're going to go instead to back to Pleasant Valley. Well, we haven't been to Pleasant Valley. We're going to go to Pleasant Valley. So there's no birch bark tea in this run either. So if we do get bitten by wolves, we will have to be very lucky with our recovery. But we don't have to worry about being jumped by moose. But yeah, if there's no rabbits, no ptarmigan, no deer, then there's none of the clothing that comes with that. We get no bunny hat, no bunny mitts. Don't get deer. Deer pants might be possible if we find enough carcasses, but it's a lot of work.
I'll take it.
Anything else? Okay, nothing else here. So yeah, those of you who are joining us, a little bit about myself. I'm v-LHda-LxYC. I'm a TLD streamer. I'm also a writer. I'm the author of 2 books of poetry. I'm a former computer games programmer. I used to work in the educational games sector. And I am a creative writing coach, manuscript editor, and most recently I have completed another degree. I have a few degrees. I completed a master's in library and information studies, so I can now work as a professional librarian in a public library or academic library. So I'm trying to get into a university, full-time university role. I have a part-time role right now, but it expires in December, so it would be good to find a way something a little bit more permanent. Well, position I'm applying for is a 1-year position, but it's more permanent than what I got, right? So yeah, on this channel we play TLD. Occasionally I'll work on some D&D related projects. And then Most streams will end with me reading at least one poem. Usually something from me, often something requested from someone else. Okay, this is not where we wanted to go. This is where we want to go. Yeah, I almost always, if I'm in Ash Canyon, will exit through the path that leads us through Timberwolf Mountain, and I'll go and do the summit, and then I'll go down back to the Mountaineers. But if I spawn in Ash Canyon and I don't find a bedroll, then more often than not, I will actually choose to exit this way rather than risk going up to summit. Wasting time if I don't have can't find a hacksaw, can't find a bedroll. So we are still desperately looking for a bedroll. But we do have the hammer, so we do have the ability to forge something.
Drop any of this gear.
Okay. I was going to say we have to sneak past the bear, except for there's no bear, since all we have are wolves. The real question is, do we have timber wolves? That would suck. If we have timber wolves, we'll probably lighten ourselves so we can run. comes the fog.
Damn, I'm freezing.
Hopefully we're going the right direction. Okay, I think we're good. What kind of wolf? Just one. Well, I've been cold too long. Okay, we can see the hut. Ahoy, lantern. Okay, let's see. Maybe we'll get lucky this time.
One little fire. Perfect.
That's good.
rest soon.
Okay.
I gotta lay down and have a little sleep right here.
Okay, if you're looking at our meters, it does look a little dire, but it's actually not that bad. We have shelter over here, and we're also pretty close to the exit, so we're fine. So far, the wolves we've run into on Timberwolf Mountain have all been regular wolves and not timber wolves. So should be okay on the way out too. Oh, we're gonna eat up here in a second. We're just doing starvation strats and other things. Oops. Nope. Too late. I wasn't paying attention.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Sewing kit. We can actually do repairs and we get a jacket. Yay. We can actually start carving stuff. Didn't we start working on this already? Yeah. I already have a wolf figure. Okay, we can cook our pork and beans. Gonna need more torches.
I could eat a horse. Let's see a lot, because I love horses. Come on, little fire. That didn't work.
It takes so long to read the field dressing book. It is better just to dress, just to harvest animals than it is to read the book. At least that's been my experience. I, usually am harvesting all the time, and reading the book is 10 hours. It's way too long. Okay. Alright, we'll just plan on staying the night here. Yeah, we'll throw it all on. $10. How many do we have now? 10. Okay, all set here. See, full recovery. You're perfectly exhausted.
I need to find food.
And this works. Okay, this is pretty terrible, so we're gonna fix this one.
I'm starving.
These aren't really awesome clothes anyways, but...
I am too tired to think straight.
Okay. Need to remain above freezing for another 7 hours. I don't think we have much left. We have a little bit of coal. So Some sticks. I think we need to at least recover a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Finally. Okay, conditions improved. Weather is not.
Man, all I can think about is food.
4 hours. Two more hours. Wait for the storm to die down and then we'll get out of here. Okay, we'll probably wrap up once we get to the prepper's cache bunker. We'll get there.
I could eat a horse. Let's say a lot, because I love horses.
See wolves out there.
sure I can carry much more.
Okay, we're still good.
Oh, so cold.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes left. Or however long it takes us to get to through this section and into down the rope to the cache. Well, we'll probably just go down. So. Ooh. Still good.
I think my stomach is eating itself. Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Waste of a match. You might be going, where's the goat? How are you goating? And that, my friends, is the goat. Right down there. Okay, so we made it here.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
We'll do a quick scan to see if we got anything useful here. I mean, not expecting anything. Maybe we'll get a hacksaw. That might be useful. Okay, we're going to quickly go check
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
this as well. What we got over here.
Thank you. Perfect. Oh, lucky day.
Okay, time to head back. First cracker box. Okay, here's where we're saving. Preppers abandoned cache. Day 11. Okay, so that's where we're going to finish off for tonight. We are going to go find. Going to read something. Read a couple things. Something from a friend is the request. So I'm thinking. What did I read recently that was pretty good? Okay, so let's see. Oh, that's who I was thinking about. So, they just announced, in the US, you think all sorts of things are collapsing and not working as intended, and there's a state of chaos. And then, every so often, there's a little bit of normalcy. And the little bit of normalcy was that they announced the new poet laureate, U.S. poet laureate, who is someone that I actually know, Arthur Z. Is a poet, a translator, an editor, and I met him when he taught at Kundiman, which is an Asian American literary retreat. But fascinating guy, terrific choice to be writer in residence or to be poet laureate. And I'm going to see if I can find an example poem that might be good. A fair bit of his stuff deals with the natural world. So let's see if we can find something. Okay, these are all good. Maybe this one. Mm-hmm. Maybe this one. Okay. So this is... These are all interesting. Yeah, maybe I'll read the title poem for one of his collections. Red Shifting. Oh, that one's really long. Let's not do that one. Okay, we'll go with First Snow then, I think. First Snow by Arthur Z. A rabbit has stopped on the gravel driveway, imbibing the silence. You stare at spruce needles. There's no sound of a leaf blower, no sign of a black when it moves. You locate it against speckled gravel, but when it stops, it blends in again. The world of being is like this gravel. You think you own a car, a house, this blue zigzag shirt, but you just borrow these things. Yesterday, you constructed an aqueduct of dreams and stood at Gibraltar, but you possess nothing. Snow melts into a pool of clear water, and in the stillness, starlight behind daylight, wherever you gaze. So you can kind of tell that he has very much, one, a lot of attention to the natural world. Two, there is a very Buddhist sentiment to a lot of what he writes, and sort of that rethinking about our primacy, our centrality, and removing that and thinking about sort of the plurality and universality of the natural world, that there's just like all these things of which we are just a part, and our ego is just this illusion. So that's kind of what he writes about in this one here. Yeah. Anyways, so that's Arthur Z. First Snow. I'll throw it here in the come on. There we go. That's where you can read that one. So we'll read one of mine then, and I think what we'll do in honor of the poems that are getting published, I have two poems that are forthcoming. I just got word today that they've been accepted for publication. So until they're officially published and out there in the world, I don't get to read them online. That's just how it works, because sharing them in a public forum is publication. So you'll have to wait a few weeks, maybe a month, depending on when that issue comes out, but you'll get to hear some of these poems. But I'm going to read one from the same series, and this is from a series of letter poems, originally inspired by another poem I wrote called Letter to the Unknown Wife. And so these all kind of imagined a beloved or a desired for person who the speaker has never actually met, and yet somehow imagines in great specificity, something about their circumstances. So, I mean, here's kind of the example one to set the tone. And hopefully you'll get to hear the rest as more and more of them are published. We have about 5 or 6 of them published already. So here we go. Letter 10. Here, in a bed that has become another country, a stillness has fallen as if the snow outside had drifted in, filling the folds in my sheets and burying me in a numbing dark with its thin shovel of light. Elsewhere, unknown to me, your hair still damp with rain. How is it that we have come to this moment of wanting, without passports in hand, without names, only the wounds we wear, the ill-fitting mass of sorrow, the memory of the moon's silver bruise in the sky? That was letter 10 from Letters to the Unknown Wife, an unfinished project that I, with two new poems, or two of the unpublished ones getting published, I think there might actually be enough interest that there's still a lot of empty gaps in the sequence and a lot of bits and pieces of things I started that I never finished. So I think I need to go back and work on that. But anyways, that's letter 10. So yeah. Anyways, so we are done for tonight. I think we have to go find someone to raid, so let's do that next. And then we'll be good. So CJ Blades is doing stuff again tonight. I think it might be fun to visit. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so let's get this raid going. This is going to Blades, CJ, another really, really talented TLD streamer. Always learn something new watching him, and he's a lot of fun to watch. He's doing some ridiculous over-the-top difficulty, which is like not outer Loper, but outer misery, I think is what he's doing right now. Crazy. Anyways, thank you all. I'll be back possibly Friday night, I think is what I'm aiming for. Okay, see you then.